Hey guys, this is me, StrayF. Today is January 22, 2026, and as I said, this is going to be my last video about M2H as a company and about the game as a software product. After this video, what I plan to do is to release probably 1, maximum 2 weeks of gameplay videos, and then I'm going to stop the video. Then I'm going to stop playing Crash Drive 3 forever, and I'm going to leave the Discord server. In short, why I'm bored with the game, very disappointed with M2H as a company, and because I am customer to M2H basically, and also disappointed a little bit with the Discord server, and yeah, just I want to move on. So in order to understand why basically I want to talk about the game and the company, you have to understand where I am coming from. So this game, Crash Drive 3, is the game that I played the most in my life. Before Crash Drive 3, there was another game called Pirate Galaxy, which is free, totally free, and you can play it in the browser. I really recommend this game. I played it for 7 months straight. Basically, it's a sci-fi game. You are a space pirate, you have a spaceship, you go around, you upgrade the ship, and you visit different planets. Now they will land on a planet. And you go around, you fight enemies. There are historic missions that you complete, but the game is very simple. Basically, you gather resources, you upgrade your ship, you go and fight, and yeah, you can become member of a clan. Sooner or later you will, because at some point the game becomes difficult, and yeah, the game is completely free. You can advance without spending a single dollar, but there is also a store where you can spend real money to buy ship upgrades. Nice game. I played it, I loved it, I stopped. So right now we are in the Crash Drive 3 era. And let me show you my purchases. Basically, I purchased Crash Drive 3 on Nintendo Switch on May 10th, 2022, which makes it exactly 3 years and a half straight as I'm playing Crash Drive 3, with very, very few interruptions, but basically 3 years and a half straight. But because there is significant difference between, graphical difference between the version for Nintendo and the version for Steam, which is significantly better graphically, and also because in order to play Crash Drive 3 and other games on Nintendo online multiplayer, you have to pay additional fee on Nintendo, which I stopped doing that. Basically, a little bit later, on January 26, 2024, I migrated to Steam. And I like it. It's way better on Steam. Better graphics, better everything, and you can do stuff to the game. Basically, yeah, it's just better. And I didn't have much of a Steam experience, but as you can see here, Crash Drive 3 was the 4th game that I bought on Steam. My 4th transaction, my 4th Steam purchase was Crash Drive 3. My 5th was Crash Drive 2, which I was trying for first time, and on Steam come with a free copy that I gifted to my son. So later my 6th purchase was again Crash Drive 3, which I purchased for my son. He was playing on Nintendo, but again I stopped the Nintendo Switch Online subscription, so he wanted to play online. I got him Crash Drive 3 for Steam. So yeah, and I've got it all on discount. As you can see, I buy very few games which are not on discount. So straight 2 years as I'm playing on Steam and 3.5 years as I'm playing Crash Drive 3 at all. Now I stopped playing Crash Drive 2 long time ago. It's a game that very quickly becomes boring. So I continued with Crash Drive 3, which I'm going to stop soon. So naturally I started communication with M2H one way or another. Now when they released the game on Nintendo, there were bugs. For example, there was a challenge, daily challenge to kick an alien, and there were no aliens at all on all maps. So first I wrote them on their support email, they didn't reply, so I started communication with Mike directly on LinkedIn. Now for those of you who don't know, LinkedIn is a social network just like Facebook, but only for professionals. So if you are a financial guy or an IT guy or a manager, whatever, entrepreneur, you must have an account on LinkedIn and communicate with people on LinkedIn. It's a great platform, I love it. I am nearly from the start on LinkedIn. And the thing is, when you write somebody on LinkedIn, just like on Facebook, they can see your LinkedIn profile. So with writing Mike, I let him know exactly who I am, what's my actual real name, what is my actual profession, and for those of you who don't know, I am this guy. Basically, I am a professional software developer all my life. This means I am computer programmer, just like Mike. And this is why I wanted to maintain a respectful professional communication on LinkedIn with Mike about his company and his product. But basically, why I wrote him, it was all about the the Nintendo Switch bugs. That was the actual reason why I contacted him on the first place. So later he replied, but he started to reply very, very rarely, despite that I actually warned him about things that weren't my concern and my job to warn him at all. So for example, in 2024, I discovered that on some websites there were custom Android APK packages of Crash Drive 3. Now for those of you who are not familiar with Android, basically there are mobile versions of the game that somebody succeeded to isolate and modify. And what was modified is that when you install Crash Drive 3 from this custom package, you will get immediately a large amount of money, and you can buy immediately all the cars, vehicles, and gild them. And I warned him about this. I pinpointed some of the URLs even for him, but he didn't care. So I started doing my own testing. I tested what will happen if there is no internet at all on the computer. With Crash Drive 2 and 3, I discovered that they are not very playable. I started to basically act as a quality assurance analyst, test different things for him and report him the findings. And he started to reply very rarely, which bothered me. Like, I was losing time doing stuff for him. He didn't bother to reply. So I started to express concern what is happening with the game and the company, because at this point we realized that there are no developers working anymore for M2H. Now for those of you who don't follow my videos or have no idea what's happening, basically few years ago Mike laid off absolutely all of his employees. There are no more developers working on Crash Drive 3. There are no more developers working on absolutely anything. His brother Matt left the company like sometimes before that, and basically the company is a sinking ship. Nobody knows what's happening, and I was worried because the thing is, I actually love Crash Drive 3, or at least I used to love it. I played this game for so long, and in the beginning it was really so much fun to play Crash Drive 3, so I didn't want it to stop, and I also started to talk to the community on the Discord server. You know who guys are, because I talk to you regularly, even that it's a little bit more rare right now, but still in the beginning I was friend with nearly everybody in the community, so I was worried what's going on. So I asked him questions, because I started to get red flags about the company, and I started to worry what's going on. Of course, nobody really said anything. Do you remember when the M2H.nl website was hacked? Took him an entire week to fix this. This is ridiculous. If my company website is being hacked, if I don't fix it the same way, at least I will fix it the next day. And to Mike took him an entire week to fix. And he disregarded the entire communication with us. Everybody tried to write him message. The blob did, everybody did. Mike was nowhere to be found, which was weird. So yeah, I don't want to get into details about my communication with Mike, but all these screenshots are already zipped, and I will send to whoever asked for it. Like, yeah, I censored my name, but you can read exactly what I asked him. So it's not like I asked him for personal information. Basically, I asked him technical questions about the mechanics of Crash Drive 3, and when I realized that something is very fishy with the company, I started to ask more insightful questions to the ex-M2H team members, on which Mike was very bothered, and finally he showed up and he wrote me a message not to bother them anymore, which was not really bothering because each of the team members got only one message from me. So basically what happened here? So I spent time from the end of 2024 to the end of 2025 to locate different, to be precise, 7 M2H Crash Drive 3 team members. I managed to find the official emails only of 7 of them, one way or another. I was looking for official emails, LinkedIn accounts, whatever really, ArtStation accounts, whatever. So I wrote 7 messages to 7 of them. Only one of them replied, which is Yopemin, and I'm very thankful to him, but it was a huge red flag that nobody is replying me, and I'm gonna tell you why. So when you are employee of a company and you leave this company, the rules are, if you had good experience with the company, you're going to say something good about the company. But if you had bad experience with the company, you are not going to say anything about the company. You're going to just avoid the questions about the company. And this is exactly what happened with me, because long before I wrote to the 7 team members, I managed to locate one of the developers on one chat and I asked him what's going on with the company. And the reply was, I don't want to comment on anything regarding M2H. That was my first red flag that something is not right with M2H. And I said, okay, and I left the chat. So fast forward to the beginning of 2025, actually mid of 2025, I wrote 7 messages to these 7 people which used to work on Crash Drive 3. And only Yoppe replied. Huge red flag. Only one person replies. And one of them actually complained to Mike. And I told him, look, somebody is digging information here about you. So do something. By the way, guys, this is the reason why Mike started to show up on Discord again. Mike used to disregard his entire player base, his own product, his own customers for even more than 1 year. We tried to locate Mike on the Discord server. He simply wasn't there. Do you remember the old times? Mike was always on Discord and you can ping him and ask him something, but then Mike disappeared. We tried to locate him, no luck. And at some point, 2025, late August, he started to show up. Why? Well, you have to thank me. Because of this bothering that I did to the ex-Crash Drive 3 team members, and he decided to show up and check what's going on with the community, which was totally unprofessional. He showed up only to check what's going on. And for these Android bug fixes that the mobile players had, you have to thank me, because otherwise nobody knows when Mike would show up and check what's going on. But again, these are the only bugs that would get a fix, and they got already. No other bugs would be fixed. Now, reason for this I can explain, because as a developer I perfectly know that if you write some code today and let's say a week, if I have to fix something which I wrote a week like before, I would fix it. But if I have to fix something on a code that I wrote personally few months ago, it's very, very difficult. And if it was written by somebody else, well, good luck reading the other's code. It's difficult. So yes, I understand why he will not fix anything. But again, me, you, we are all customers to M2H. He owes us that. Because we got the game, we have complaints, and that's it. He doesn't care. Now, I don't want to hurt M2H as a business entity, but as a customer I have to say that I'm very disappointed. And I'm not the only one. Very regular players were disappointed. Do you remember Gabriela? Gabriela was a regular player on Crash Drive 3, just like me. And by the way, she was the second Bulgarian that I've met. The third Bulgarian is Erin, which also for some reason disappeared from the Discord and she don't post any more videos. I hope that everything is fine with her. But again, we are only 3 Bulgarians in the game that I know about. And Gabriela was a good player. Gabriela spent lots of time documenting bugs, gathering screenshots and reporting to the developers. And she felt extremely disappointed when basically M2H disrespected her because nobody paid attention to her reports. So she got disappointed and she left the game. Simple as that. This is what I am about to do. Because I had my good time with the game. I just showed you communication with me and Mike. Like, he doesn't care about what we report. And I'm demonstrating who I am, like I'm professional like him. It's disrespectful. And not to mention how much effort I spent doing my videos. Like, remember the old times when the game was released and he was organizing simple screenshot contests and he gave merch and stuff. And right now we are doing so much more about the game to keep it alive, and he just doesn't care. No recognition here. So how not to get disappointed? I mean, for my SkateCode videos, I have to tell you that for some of them, it took me full 2 weeks to gather interesting moments that I can compile into a highlight video, and it took me 2 days to assemble this into a video. I put really lots of effort into doing these videos, and Mike doesn't care. Like, I started doing it primarily out of love for the game, but the love, it is just until a moment, and then it goes away. And my love for Crash Drive 3 went away. So basically, as I said, I'm going to do a few more gameplay videos, and that's it. I'm gonna stop playing the game, and I'm going to leave the Discord server. Ah yeah, that was the only thing, the other thing actually, the Discord server. Well, the thing is, on Discord, things are currently chaotic. People started to ban other people for no particular reason. I mean, Tamarind and Erin got banned on Discord. Why? The official thing was that they were drama queens, but they weren't. There are two other players who are the actual drama queens, and they are still there. So what the hell is going on here? Like, nobody cares. Why should I care? And I don't. Actually, I don't care about anything pretty much anymore. From the very beginning, so much people were bothered by the cheaters on Crash Drive 3, and I never was. I actually used this to leverage my skills and to make interesting videos. And I said it from the very beginning, I'm going to say it again, I'm not bothered by the cheaters. Even I'm going to release a video on the Crash Drive 3 cheating. So yeah, basically that's it. Again, for people who are curious about my communication with Mike on LinkedIn, I zipped these into a single file, my messages with Mike, so everybody can read it. And that's it. My last video about M2H, they don't deserve anything more. So again, I don't want to, this is a disclaimer, I don't want to hurt M2H as a business entity, but as a customer, I am very disappointed and I have the full right to complain. So whoever doesn't like it, he can go and, yeah, very mildly say they can go to hell. I can have the full right to do everything I want. I don't do it unprofessionally, so that's it. Stick it in your pipe and smoke it. My last M2H video, I'm player Stray F. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.